Welcome to Mosaic Stories, a monthly video series featuring St. Louis natives and foreign-born individuals exploring their journeys, challenges, and contributions to the St. Louis community.
My name is Jen Owens, and today I'm joined by Pravina, also known as P. I myself am not a St. Louis native, but have lived here for over 30 years now. Okay, P, tell me, where did you move from?
So I moved here from London. That's where I was born.
Okay.
But I'm originally Indian.
Okay. What part of India?
Gujarat.
Gujarat. Okay.
Yeah.
Western?
That's right.
Western side.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So tell me something that you miss from home that you wish St. Louis had, but we don't have.
Oh, the one thing that I keep ordering from people that come and visit me is a pack of biscuits called cow biscuits. Well, I call them cow biscuits, but they're called molten milk biscuits. You can't get them on Amazon. You can't get them from Global Foods. Yeah, and if you do find it, it's probably like, 10 times the price. So cow biscuits.
Cow biscuits. Do they look like cows?
No, there's a picture of a cow on it, though.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fun.
And they're delicious with a cup of tea.
London is awesome. So what brought you from London to the U.S. or was St. Louis the first place you landed?
It was.
Okay.
It was. And we came here after we won something called an Arch Grant, $50,000 for startups to relocate here to St. Louis. So I had started and co-founded my first tech company with my husband, Amit Kothari. And the company's Talify, which is a checklist app for businesses. We pitched it to Arch Grants while we were on the other side of the world. We won. And I said, let's go.
Wow. Okay, so when you got here, of course, you had all kinds of dreams and things that you were excited about, but what was your first impression landing here?
Well, we landed here, and the first person I met was Betsy Cohen, Executive Director of Mosaic at the time.
Okay.
And she came out and had a little drink with us where we were living in Central West End. And she welcomed us with, open arms and gave us, I think, 3 introductions in half an hour. And all of those people are still in my life right now. And so that first year was just, meeting an incredible number of people that were so welcoming and supportive of the business. That was our first impressions. And you can imagine, that's the reason why we stayed.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And it's not always the case that the first people you meet are the people who stay in your life. So that's pretty neat that they have stayed part of your life. So, and you continue to enjoy living here.
Oh, we absolutely love it. The plan was 1 year. That's the deal with Arch Grants. At minimum, you stay here 1 year. If you like it, you stay, hoping that the business is doing well. You create jobs and you stay. And yeah, we fell in love with the place. We did spend 2 years in Silicon Valley after we landed here. But we just took the money, raised the money from there and ran back. Because St. Louis has been, it feels like home now. I have a family. I have a 6-year-old. It's perfect for raising a family. We still get to go to London every summer. Like, best of all worlds.
Right, yeah. Wow. So what is your favorite thing about St. Louis? Or that's pretty broad, but maybe, anyway.
Right now,
take a shot.
Right now, my life revolves around my son. So I just love the fact that I can just wake up and head to the zoo for the afternoon. No parking issues, no traffic issues, no budget issues, right? And then there's so many free things to do for children like that. Last weekend, we went off to the wineries. Like, in what town can you just drive off to the wineries, right? So we have the wineries. We have a lovely city. It's kid-friendly. It's affordable. There's no traffic. Everything's available and accessible. And, it's the opposite in London and in San Francisco. So, yeah, right, all of those things.
So I'm thinking about, I had an experience I moved from the U.S. to live in Ukraine and Russia for 5 years. And so I remember those cultural adjustments. And then we moved back, and even though I was moving back to my home country, there were so many adjustments. So what kind of adjustments did you face moving from London to St. Louis?
So I remember landing here thinking I'm going to spend our business grant, the entire thing on the business. And I land here and, I had underestimated the distances between places. I thought I could just walk from my apartment to the co-working space in downtown. The apartment was in Central West End. I'm like, oh, okay. It's very vast, it's very big. So we invested in a car, of course. So, things are bigger. Some challenges, I guess, were, understanding health insurance. Obviously, we have welfare in the
Right.
UK. We have the NHS, free healthcare. You take it for granted, and you come here and you're like thinking about every single visit that you're doing. So wrapping our heads around the insurance, benefits, all of that, was a learning curve. It took us a few years. But some good things. The best part, I think, was, here specifically in St. Louis, it's, I've been to New York, I've been to San Francisco, I don't think it exists there. It's the generosity of people. Like, people are so genuinely interested in helping you, and giving you time and helping you, right? And in the UK, or London specifically, the bigger cities, people just don't have that time.
Right.
Even if they wanted to, right? And then to go a step further, giving you that time and then, offering some help, right? Or a connection. So that sort of blew my mind. And I think that's still unique to St. Louis. I've not seen that anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah. But you did that for me just when we met over email.
I learned that from the Midwesterners. I've learned
That's
that,
great.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you can just reach out and help people because you can. Right. And, I think people have more capacity here. The pace of life is so different and the stress levels are lower that you have capacity for others or to help others.
Okay.
Right. When I'm back in London, I'm not available like I am available here. Right.
Yeah.
Because
Interesting.
I'm at capacity in London.
Yeah.
But I learned that from St. Louis and the people here.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so I want to hear about what you're most proud of as far as the contribution you've made here in St. Louis or are making here in St. Louis.
Yes. So when we came here with Talify, we were the first, I think, European company to land here, to headquarter here. And we stayed. Some didn't, but we did. We raised a few million in Silicon Valley and around the US. And so that, it came back to St. Louis. We created jobs. We helped customers over here. Our first customers were here. But I did that for the first 5 years, right here, building Talify in St. Louis. It's still headquartered here, ran by my husband, because I took a bit of a break to have a little baby during the pandemic. And during that time, I found lots of tech founders, tech company startup founders were reaching out saying, hey, P, you've done so-and-so in St. Louis, Silicon Valley, raised a few million, got your customers. How do you do that? And so I started mentoring them very, just, informally. And then what I found is, there was demand for this. And so that's what I do full time now. So I run a company called Fractional P, and I'm a fractional co-founder to 90 plus tech founders, first-time tech founders around the US, but also in London and St. Louis.
Wow. Well, that is an amazing contribution. And it makes me excited as someone who's a transplant to St. Louis, just to think about really the economic impact and the possibilities for providing more jobs for people, bringing more people in, making this, St. Louis more viable economically. And I have a real passion for refugee and immigrant women. So all the possibilities as more jobs are created for people to dream beyond what they think they can dream about is exciting. So thank you.
That's exactly what I do. So if you're a career switcher, someone that's got passionate about doing something, always wanted to start a business. If it's tech enabled, that's more down my alley. But I do all businesses. So if you're a first timer doing that, I can walk you through how to get to your first million.
Wow. P, since you yourself are an immigrant, how do you feel in this current climate about where immigration policy is obviously very broken and a lot of very sad things are happening? How do you feel about it? As an immigrant yourself, what do you think that other St. Louisans need to know about the situation or how they can enter in? What's important?
Well, I think, most immigrants, every single immigrant that I have had, the privilege to meet and spend time with has contributed in some way to America. whether it's, a new dish, some new flavors, a business, or, working somewhere, a new language. So, hopefully people will learn that, immigrants bring something to every country they end up in. But it's certainly sad times. I think we were lucky that we arrived at a time where, the red carpet was rolled out for us, right? But I know that's not the case for everybody, and especially now. But, I just like to live in my little bubble, and St. Louis is one. I think it's very welcoming. I have never, and none of my friends have ever faced any issues, and I hope that changes, throughout the country. But there's hope. I think there are, people out there that believe immigrants bring value, and hopefully they are able to speak up and share those stories.
Yeah, agreed. In my work daily with refugee women, I'm getting to interact with other women in the community. I'm seeing more people who are alarmed about things and want to know, well, what can I, as just, maybe just a mom or just a teacher or a pastor's wife, what can I do? And so I agree, there is hope, and it's good to see. I'm excited to see that there are people who are interested in doing their little part in making a difference and helping other people recognize the contributions, as you said, that every immigrant brings to our community. Okay, so I want to hear about just what advice you would give someone moving here.
Okay, so I moved here and I reinvented myself, because that's what you can do when you move somewhere different. Right? You can. So reinvent yourself. If you've been thinking about starting a business, calling yourself something else, doing anything, do it. And that would be your introduction. That's my advice. Just go for it. You'll be happier being that person that you always wanted to be. So I did that. I was a nurse in the UK, then a tech founder, and I was P, the tech founder, right here.
Yeah.
So that's my advice to people that move here. And then, if you do meet locals here and they're saying, let me know if I can help in some way, ask for one thing. Actually, ask for three things. It's introductions to three people that you think would be helpful or fun to meet. That's it. Ask for introductions if you haven't been given them already.
Okay. Wow. And it was that happened to you.
That's right. Betsy Cohen, executive director of Mosaic, that's what she did. She gave us 3 introductions. I'm like, okay, that's a playbook. I wish more people offered that. And so I started offering it. That's what I do for people now. If I meet them and how can I help them? They don't, people are not going to ask for help in a specific thing. That's the minimum thing you could do. It transforms lives, connections transform lives.
Yeah. Well, and that's what you did for me too. We just met over email, and then you connected me to someone who loves writing grants, and she met with me and helped me workshop a proposal. So
that's incredible.
Thank you for paying it forward or paying it backwards or whichever way it was.
It's a playbook
all around.
That's awesome.
P, it was so nice to meet you in person and then hear more of your story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
For more Mosaic Stories, and if you'd like to be part of it, visit stlmosaicproject.org.